So I'm having a chat with Bob Vylan. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm not too bad. Here at 2000 Trees.
Yep.
How's it been for you so far?
Been pretty good, pretty good. I mean, I haven't been able to see anybody yet. I wanted to see Lambrini Girls, but I missed them. But yeah, pretty excited for our set later, and pretty excited to watch soft play later as well.
Yep. Stick around for the weekend, or are you heading off?
Got to head back today. Yeah, got to head back today. But you know, we were here yesterday. We did the forest stage, I believe it's called. And then you know, today, and then we're heading back later.
Yeah. And this is all kind of gearing up now towards the big announcement that you had, which was you're out on tour later this year. Nice big headliner, but you can't wait for that.
Yeah. It's fantastic. Like, we're doing European headline tour in October, which is like the first time we've ever headlined in Europe. So that's really exciting, you know. And then headline UK tour in November, and that's like our biggest one. We're doing like the Forum in London, and it's kind of mind blowing, really. Do you know what I mean? Because like it's all kind of been done on our own terms, which is a beautiful thing to have happen.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got no one to please but yourself.
Here we go.
Here he comes. How are you, Bob?
All good, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad. So we're on this tour and we're doing these shows because last year you released your record.
Yeah.
For those who haven't heard it, and I'm sure there's not many of those people, but tell us a bit about the record.
The Price of Life is is released in 2022 early on, and it's like, you know, it deals with a lot of things, but the recurring theme, the main thread throughout the whole thing is like the cost of living crisis. But it was written and released before that was a thing in the press and whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Did you cause it then? Is it your fault?
Yeah, exactly. We tanked the economy. It's, you know, we feel these things happening on the, you know, like we live normal lives, and do you know what I mean? So we're able to write things from a first-person perspective. We're going through these things, so we never have to write like reactionary stuff of like, oh, this is a thing that's happening in the world that we're only just finding out about it because it's in the Guardian. Do you know what I mean? It's like, no, we're feeling it here and now. Yeah. So but it's a fantastic album. It done really well, and it won awards and stuff. But most importantly, that people enjoyed it, you know, and we're happy with it.
Yeah, good. Have you started work on the next release?
Yeah. There's going to be a new single out in July 21st. Got a new single coming out called Dream Big, and we're working on new bits and pieces. We're having fun, you know. There's going to be some things later this year and, you know, next year and that.
And because you knew that it was the last record was about the cost of living, and then it happened. What's this one going to be about?
Oh, I can't give you that, brother. I can't give you that. But this one. I'll just say it's empowering.
Need to make it about us being richer than anybody else.
Include me in that so I can get there as well,
okay,
please.
Okay.
As
soon as what we're writing about comes true,
Indeed. And with the sound of it, is it a continuation from your last record? Is it a development? Is it a change for you guys?
I think it's a development. It's like, I feel like there's just natural development with each release. This one has been done, like, it's been created in a different way. It's the first time that there's collaboration on here from the production to like the mixing. Like, I'm not mixing this record. Do you know what I mean? Or like I'm kind of like sitting in on the mixing sessions and stuff. But you know, it's
you're telling them what to do.
No, definitely not. Like, it's somebody that's their job.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that's their thing. That's what they know how to do. And that's what they've dedicated their life to. And so there's a lot of collaboration in that sense, do you know what I mean, on the creative side. But, you know, the lyrics are all, obviously, they're still written by myself, and so it's a Bob Vylan record. But, it's a natural progression, and it's just, for me, when I listen to it, at the moment, in the state that it's in, and it's, you know, it's in a good state, it makes me feel like powerful. It makes me feel empowered. It makes me feel kind of like just ready to achieve whatever I want to put my mind to. And I think that is something that we want to spread that message a little more, you know, because people see us winning a Kerrang Award, Mobo Award, or like they see us doing these shows and going from that new stage tent last year to the main stage this year, and it's done with like no label and no backing and all of that sort of stuff. And like I think like that is an important message for us to push, just as important as, you know, the fact that, oh, there's like police brutality and there's racism, all of that sort of stuff, but also like pushing that message of like self-empowerment and your ability to achieve whatever it is that you wish to achieve. Do you know what I mean? Like, and we don't have a lot of people in rock music and punk music specifically that are able or have gone on to achieve incredible heights and reach incredible heights, and as independent bands. But we see it a lot in rap music, you know, and so I think like we need to kind of promote that more in this genre of music, so people stop taking these terrible deals and start getting themselves into all kinds of trouble with the label and all this kind of debt and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, and so is the plan for you guys to keep it independent through your careers, or do you think there might come a time when...
Well, it's not necessarily about, like... we're not like a band that's like, oh, we'll never sign to a label. Like, I feel like we've always said we would sign with Universal or Warner tomorrow if the deal was fair.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it's not about being anti-label or anti, like, industry or anything like that. Everything that we do is out of necessity, you know? And... we're not willing to compromise on certain things, and, you know, like giving up the rights and all of that sort of stuff. It's like we're not really willing to do that, and so those deals are unfair for us. They're unfair for a lot of the artists that are taking them. Mm-hmm. We will continue independently as long as we have to, you know, and if we can find something that is fair, then we will happily take it.
Yeah.
You know, but it has to make sense. It can't just be because there's a big number attached to it, but what we're going to trade off is detrimental at some, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Now, coming on to the writing side of things, how do tracks normally start off? Is it a lyric? Is it a riff? Is it a melody? Kind of, how do they tend to start off for you guys?
It depends really, because sometimes it's music first, sometimes it's lyrics first, sometimes it's kind of together. It's like there's not any rhyme or reason to it. It just happens, you know. Like sometimes, like I've got lyrics that I've written in my phone to no beat, and then I'll create something, and or I'll hear something, I think, oh, that would work on that, and then there's some I've made beats or played a riff or whatever, and I've recorded it, but I've got no lyrics, and I might sit with that beat for 2 months, 3 months, and then something will spark. I think, oh, that might work on that, let me give it a try, you know. And so it's really just a natural process, do you know what I mean?
And do you just continually write, or do you have to sit and concentrate to create music?
Yeah, I'm always writing. I like the lyrics wise, I'm always writing like bits and pieces, like whether it's a line here or 2 lines there, like 4 bars, 8 bars, like I'm always writing bits and pieces. But in order to get like a song down, like to develop those 4 lines into a whole song, you gotta pay some, you know, got to give it some attention and concentrate and build this thing up. But yeah, it's really just like, you know, it's usually just like a natural kind of flow, and it's tricky sometimes when we're on the road and we're touring and stuff. Like, you know, it's not necessarily the most inspiring environment to be in a van or a plane or whatever, you know, but yeah, so you just find time. Like we took a time this year, beginning of this year, to write and recoup and just experience life, and you know, because that's another thing is if you're not living life and you're a band that writes about life, we have nothing to, you know. Otherwise, what are we gonna? No one wants to hear that album from a band that's like about, I'm so sick of being on tour and oh, this is so hard and like no one wants to hear that. Do you know what I mean? Like we're gonna write a song about the 2 hours that we spent at baggage claim looking for our suitcase. Do you know what I mean? It's like come on, man. Like that's not, you know. So yeah,
makes sense.
Got to like live life to have something to write about.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And when you guys step foot into the studio to record these tracks, how does it work from that demo stage to that finished track?
Well, usually, I mean, like on the previous albums, the demo the demos have just been gradual. Like it's never really been a demo. It's just been a gradual build into from a riff to a finished song, you know. But this time there definitely was demos, and it was taken into a studio, and like things were reamped or replayed and stuff. And it's like it was built differently because it's not in the bedroom anymore, you know. Like there's studio spaces that we have, and we have access to certain things that we didn't have access to before. We have support from people now that we didn't have support from, even if it's like, you know, certain like if it's Marshall, for example, and like we want to use a specific amp on the album, we can't afford to go and buy it. Do you get me? But we might be able to. Can we borrow it, or can we come and, you know? So that's been a really beautiful thing to have the opportunity to do. You know, create create music in a different environment to what we're used to creating it in.
And do you think you'll do that again in the future, or do you think you'll revert back to how it was before, or?
I don't know. I think we'll have to just wait and see, really. Like, one thing I would really like to do, I've seen these artists do it before. I don't know how it would be, but it's like I see artists like where they rent a cabin in the woods. Do you know, like on some Bon Iver shit, like something like that. I feel like that would be quite cool to invite friends and like musician friends and people to kind of come and create collaboratively in like in like a you know, just really kind of let the artistic like juices flow, exactly, and just kind of be somewhat secluded and create together. Like, I think that would be really quite a beautiful thing to do, but we'll see. I mean, I think that would take a lot of money to do. Just
book somewhere and then just tell everyone you know.
And my fear is that people will be like, oh, you know what, I can't make it this weekend. And he's like, motherfucker, I spent money on the Airbnb, bro. You gotta come, you know. That's my fear, I think.
No, I'm sure it won't happen like that.
Yeah, but it would be cool. Like that, doing something like that is like, I think that would be quite fun.
I think so. Yeah. I agree. Well, guys, it's been a pleasure having a catch up with you.
It's always good. It's always great.
Thanks so much. Cheers.
Thank you.